Good morning, guys. Sorry, let's adjust this camera a bit. That's better. There we go, guys. Um, Welcome to Poetry Corner, and thank you for joining me. It should be called Story Corner, really, because it's all stories, isn't it? But anyway, guys, happy blessed Wednesday. Now, we're going back to A Lighthouse Keeper's Tale, because I think we've neglected Davy, Snow and Lorna for a little bit. So let's get into chapter 10. Chapter 10. I forget what it's called now, guys. So chapter 10, A Whispered Morning. That's it. Chapter 10, A Whispered Morning. So let's get in and see how Davy, Snow and Lorna are getting on. So here we go, guys. Let's read this one. Dawn brushed against the horizon long before either of us noticed. The night had slipped away quietly, like a guest who had understood it had witnessed something sacred. Inside the lighthouse, the soft glow of a banked fire lingered, casting warm amber shadows across the room where Lorna and I sat closer than we'd have ever dared to be. At some point in the early hours, her head had come to rest on my shoulder. Neither of us had spoken. Words felt too small, too sharp for a night woven from tender silence. I had pulled a woolen blanket over her shoulders, and she had half asleep and had curled slightly towards me, trusting, feeling at home. And there in the stillness, something deep inside me eased like a knot I had carried for years, finally loosening. When the faintest grey of the morning brushed through the small window, I felt her stir. "Davy," she whispered, not opening her eyes yet, her voice soft and warm with sleep. "I'm here," I murmured. A gentle hum rose from her chest. Contentment, relief, something too tender for words. The dawn light grew gradually, painting her features in a quiet glow. Strands of her hair had fallen loose through the night, framing her face in soft curls. I brushed one aside carefully, letting my fingertips linger only for a moment. Her lips curved in the faintest smile. "You're watching me," she said, half dreaming. "I am," I admitted, unable to lie about something so simple. "I don't know if I'll ever grow tired of it." At that her eyes fluttered open, the warm brown of them softened by the gentleness of morning. "You say such things now," she teased lightly, "as if you've been waiting years to speak them." "I have," I said. The teasing faded from her face, replaced with something deeper, sweeter. She reached up and touched my cheek with the back of her fingers, slowly, with the care of someone touching something dearly loved. "I wish," she whispered, "I had known sooner." We now know," I said, "that it's enough." She shifted slightly to sit upright, the blanket slipping from her shoulders. Instinctively I reached to pull it back around her. Her eyes held mine as I did, full of quiet warmth. "You took care of me so naturally," she said softly. "I only do what my heart insists." A soft flush warmed her cheeks. She leaned closer, resting her forehead against mine, an intimacy more precious for its sweetness than any bold gesture. Outside, the sea began to awaken. The waves rolled gently, the tide rising with the sun. The lighthouse lens caught the new light, scattering it across the walls in a fading golden arc. "With every morning feel like this," she said. "If you remain here," I said, "every morning will feel even better than this." She smiled, a slow blossoming smile that belonged to no one but me. "Then I will remain, at least for as long as you want me." Tenderness swelled in my chest, warm and certain. "For as long as you allow me," I said, brushing my thumb along her jaw, "I want you here." She leaned into my touch, her eyes closing for a breath. "Davy," she murmured, "what happens now?" The question was soft, vulnerable, not fear, but hope too fragile to speak loudly. I took her hand gently in mine. "Now," I said, we learn each other. Slowly, patiently, we begin what we last night promised." Her breath shivered, not from cold but from emotion. And the village? She asked quietly. What will they say? I smiled faintly. Let them speak. The sea does not care for their gossip, and neither do I. She laughed softly, a small musical, a sound I realized I had waited years to hear. She leaned forward until her forehead met mine again, and this time her hands cupped my face. I am not afraid, she whispered, not with you. And in this humble quiet of a morning, with the lighthouse walls warm into the new sun, I felt the beginning of something steady and bright settle between us. A promise unspoken, yet fully understood. Whatever came next, we would face it together. The sea outside sang its endless song, the light rose steadily, and her fingers intertwined with mine, sealing the gentlest vow two hearts could make. There you go, guys. That's Davy, Snow and Lorna, all loved up by the sounds of it. Join me tomorrow morning for chapter 11, The Whispering Spread of a Village. The whisper spread through the village, like wildfire, I expect. Like a Marrakesh style story tomorrow. So there you go, guys. Thank you for joining me in Poetry Corner. I hope you enjoyed that. Davy, Snow and Lorna. So romantic tale so far. And so we'll see what they're up to tomorrow. But tonight, guys, you know where we're going. We're off to Topsy Tickle Town for part 4, Topsy Tickle Town. If you remember, they retrieve a fluffy totem pole. Now they're heading back to the village. And it's part 4, return to Topsy Tickle Town. The festival preparations begin. So there you go, guys. Join me tonight for Topsy Tickle Town. Bring your glad rags and your your best outfits, because I think it's party time. The festival preparations begin. So there you go, guys. Thank you for joining me. Take care and have a lovely day, guys. God bless you all. And join me tonight then for Topsy Tickle Town. Bye bye.